Scorpio collective sun, moon, rising Venus sign. Welcome to your timeless romantic soulmate contract read for November 2020 or timeless whenever you come across it. It's when you're supposed to see it. I am your reader, Angelo, lYONS, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive. President of Drawing the Circle Productions, younger sibling to a Scorpio brother that I'm still alive is a miracle. The Archangel of lYONS, Angelo lYONS, but you can call me Mal. Hi, hi, hi. How are you? My Scorpio friends, my subscribers, thank you so much for the love and support. I'm going to say it every time because I actually feel it, right? And there is great gratitude for your love and support, making my way closer and closer to my YouTube goal of 30,000 subscribers so that I can do the membership thing, so that I can do the extended reads like I'm doing for this one here in as membership content. 30,000, you get the little join button, right? And then you'd pay one thing per month, one price per month, and you'd have access to all the extended reads as well as other member content. Otherwise, right now, you got to jump over to Vimeo.com, and I will keep them on both platforms, most likely. There, it's pay-per-view. Here, it would be one price per month. This is a subscription deal, right? So thank you for those of you who have helped me, and if you do like the reading, please do like it, right? Hit that like button. If you like me, subscribe to the channel and come along. This is absolutely a career journey for me. I was not expecting it 52 years old. Well, it started when I was 51, but here I am now, 52 years old. So thank you. And let's get down to business, shall we? I'm really enjoying these soulmate contract reads. A couple of things, though. It's a general read. Take what resonates, leave what does not. Check your other signs. Like I said, there are extended reads. For this series, you'll get 12 here on YouTube. You will get another 12 on Vimeo. But the 13th card, which will actually be coming out on the table early on, will be revealed in the preview. In other words, I take the first 5 minutes or so of the extended read and I attach it to the end of this video. Cool? So I don't know what that is either until we flip it over in part 2, if you like. So stay in the present moment as best you can. Focus on your breath. What's going on in your energy field in your body as the reading goes through. I will do the same. All the decks that I am reading are in the description box. Oh, we're doing Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine. I'm finding has zero to do with bodily gender. People say it all the time, and I say it all the time, but like, even these readings I've done where my signs have been involved, I've been showing up more as the divine masculine than the divine feminine, and really, for months, it's been the other way around. So, there you have it. You're going to have to intuit which one you are as you go, and of course, in soulmate contracts, there can be mirroring, right? So we'll do, I have to say her, him, and them, right? So for the contract, the center lane itself, reading the current state of the contract between them. So I have to use the gendered pronouns. Please bear with me. It just keeps me sane as I do this. Soulmate contracts, you have lots of them. There are links in the description box below explaining the difference between the soul contract called Soulmate and the soul contract called Twin Flame. They're not the same things. I think it's going to be a while before I do another set of Twin Flame reads because they are rough. Where soulmates are your satisfying, symbiotic, you help each other heal. That's the foundation of the contract, and that's why you may have hundreds of them in a lifetime, but they're not all sexual romantic, right? My mom and I are soulmates, no question. We've been helping each other heal while I was in utero, as a matter of fact. So these, we are looking at the happy, healthy, wealthy, wise ones, the ones that I think are really important right now because we've been working on them, setting this up for lifetime after lifetime with these people, right? To bring it to the healthiest manifestation that can come in a happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract. I think that's enough preamble. I think you get it. You got any questions, pop them in the comments below. I do read the comments. Let's get up in this gig. Scorpio, here we go. Ooh, it also rhymes. Breathe. oh, okay, yes, well, here we go. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved using the Carolyn Mace archetype deck. Please, I need 3 cards, one for the divine feminine, one for the divine masculine, and one for the overall contract here for this Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract. November 2020 or timeless. Here's the Divine Feminine. Who is our Divine Masculine, or at least the archetypes they are dealing with? Got that one. And for the overall contract, and by the way, this will be the 13th card that gets turned over. It will be in the preview and at the beginning of the extended read. So please, the Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, soulmate contract, November 2020. Or timeless. Yeah, I saw what that one was, and I don't want to know what it is until I do the sequel, part 2. So let's look at our Divine Feminine, our Divine Masculine. Now, whatever the lead aspects are, the shadow aspects are in these cards, because it's shadow and light, it shows you the scale, what's being healed in a soul power, a type of flavor of spiritual power that you are developing, right? Whatever the shadow is, it's what you're helping each other heal. Do not forget that. That's the through line for any kind of soulmate. We help each other heal. Now that means that's through a quantum entanglement. You don't even have to be aware of it, even if you don't know each other, if you haven't met each other, or if you know each other and you're in separation or you're not talking, because soulmates have just as many rough patches as anything else. That's the learning curve of it all. But it always works itself out. It always returns to love, right? You help each other heal and that stuff. So whatever the shadow is, that's what you're helping each other heal, known or unknown. And must we have such challenging archetypes this time around? Now look, I'm going to say what these are in a minute, but the Divine Masculine's fine. It's the Divine Feminine one that's going to ruffle some feathers, unless I preface this a little bit. There are 4 archetypes that everyone has, called the Survival Family of Archetypes. You don't like it? Take it up with Carolyn Mace. I wouldn't. She's the only person on planet Earth who intimidates me. I love her. That's truly a queen archetype that has my full respect. I would love to meet her, just wouldn't want to work for her. Just saying, I don't know. She's great. But those 4 archetypes that everybody has, the trunk of the tree of your family of archetypes, if you want to look at it that way, because if that ain't healthy, the rest of them don't get fed so well. The child, the victim, victor, right? Letting go, they're all neutral. The saboteur in power, and the prostitute archetype. Well, you got the prostitute archetype, and it's not about sex. I mean, it could be in this situation, right? This is a happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, sexual soulmate contract. I'm gonna love putting this in the title, but I gotta, right? Authenticity. The shadow attribute places material considerations and security above self-empowerment. Like, I could put that very easily in a job situation. You hate your job, it's sucking you dry, you're not getting paid enough, but you don't want to go out there and look for it. You probably don't want to have to. It's better than nothing, right? About empowering yourself and taking a step forward. That's like a vague example, but one that anyone can relate to. And here's the light attribute. It's so beautiful. Accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. So what are you willing or not willing to negotiate in terms of a soulmate contract if you're the Divine Feminine here? Like, we all get tested. If they say everybody has a price, well, my soul doesn't. My ego very well probably doesn't. My personality will take it on a good day. They're not all the same thing. They're all a spectrum of the same thing, but really 3 levels of power, even if you want to go there. So this is a survival thing. This is everybody deals with this. Like, how we sell ourselves out. Okay, they're redirecting me. Of the 4 survival archetypes, the prostitute archetype is the guardian of faith and comfort, because will you negotiate your faith in yourself, your faith in the divine, your faith in the path, your faith in another, your faith in the journey of life for comfort? Will you compromise that faith? And we all get tested on that. I mean, come on, every day. Every day is a winding road, but we get a little bit closer. The Ascended Master Crow. The Divine Masculine has the father archetype, which I just think it's a Divine Masculine family. It's a masculine family archetype for the Divine Masculine. It's fine. But dealing with a prostitute and a father archetype, this could be anything. This could be, again, no gender applied. I mean, as much as you're going to think of a father as male, it ain't necessarily so. Check out the shadow attribute, dictatorial control and abuse of authority. Oh, is that limited only? No, I mean, particularly like I could easily transpose this into a work situation, right? Where there's somebody who's trying to make this decision of empowerment in their life, right? To act on faith, to not compromise their spirit in dealing with a toxic boss, right? That would be another way of looking at it. But this is a soulmate contract. So the light attribute, talent for creating and supporting life, positive guiding light within a tribal unit. So this is a very interesting combo here, because if this is in its light, like the father archetype manifested in a female body, right? It's there. It exists. It's single parenting, right? It's like where you have to be both. It's that divine masculine, divine feminine balance here. This is interesting. This is, I know it's gonna, I mean, the title's gonna say prostitute and a father contract. That sounds very hookerish, I admit, but that's not what we're looking at here. How'd you two meet? Well, I was dropping my kids off at school. Not that you can drop them off at school, but you know what I'm saying. Let's keep going. Oh my God. Like I said, 12 cards. Those are the two. So we're going to clarify 5 Daughters of the Moon, Tarot, Fire, Earth, Air, Water, Spirit, to clarify the prostitute. Now, really, I could say the Divine Feminine with the prostitute archetype. Everybody has the prostitute archetype, right? For the Divine Masculine with the Father archetype, we are going to use the Mythic Tarot. Same thing. Fire, Earth, Air, Water, Spirit. Take a nice deep breath. And watch me do my thing. Here we go. Here we go. My goddesses, please, the collective divine feminine energy of the universe. I need 5 cards in clarity and element spread for this divine feminine with the prostitute archetype. In this happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying, intimate, sexual, romantic soulmate contract. I feel this for November 2020 or Timeless, please. What is her element of fire? What does she want and desire from this contract? What is her element of earth, the fuel that feeds that fire, helping her to acquire that which she wants in this contract? What is her element of air? What she predominantly is thinking about this contract, point of view and all that, attitude, element of water, what is she feeling predominantly about this soulmate contract, and most importantly, the element of spirit. What is the point of view or the voice of the soul that was chosen by higher powers to incarnate into this body to play this role? What's the point of view of the soul for this divine feminine with the prostitute archetype? Now, I'm going to do the same for him, so this way we can flip them both. If you've been watching, I do this all the time. It's easier, it's faster, and you get to see instant comparison element by element as I flip them both sides of the table. Flip the table. Breathe. Oh, yeah, my gods of Scorpio, Poseidon, Hades, half of the universal energy, the divine masculine, the divine yang. Please, I need 5 cards in clarity, the element spread for this divine masculine with the father archetype. I mean, it's a masculine family archetype for a divine masculine, kind of makes sense of the sun, father, sage triune, like maiden, mother, crone. I'm feeling that here a bit, so please. Element of fire, what does this divine masculine father archetype want in this contract? Element of earth, what is the fuel that feeds the fire that helps them acquire that which they desire? Oh, the gods are in the room. Well, they always are. Please, 1 card in clarity for their element of air. What are they predominantly thinking about this contract? Element, that was easy. Element of water, I feel it. What are they feeling about this contract predominantly? And of course, the card of spirit. What is the point of view, the voice of the soul that was chosen to incarnate and play this role in this Scorpio soulmate contract? Boom. Element of fire, what do they desire? Well, okay, the Divine Feminine wants a new beginning here, a new beginning, Ace of Flames, right? Ace of Wands, a spark, something that can be tended and built, probably an offer, but really an inspiration, and it could very well be erotic. Now, not just because of the prostitute archetype, but because the Divine Masculine wants Four of Swords, needs a rest. So if these two already have a sexual connection between them, or there's been time between, there's definitely a vibe going on here. In other words, it's not a thought-out journey yet. It's just like this, there's a spark there. So, and again, this could be taken more generally in the sense that the Divine Feminine really wants a new beginning, wants something passionate, something exciting, something romantic, something igniting. Something for everyone, a comedy tonight. Sorry, my musical theater DNA sometimes gets the better of me, right? I need a Broadway exorcist. So this Four of Swords, right, wants to contemplate, wants to think, wants to rest. So what they want's a little bit different. What they want is a little bit different here. What do they have to make this happen for them? Well, this is interesting. The Divine Feminine, they both have threes. The Divine Feminine has the Three of Pentacles clay woman. She has everything that she needs to do this within her own reach. She may not have combined them yet together, just like the clay woman has to, like, get the clay, clean the clay, right? Sculpt it, get it ready. This is the stage before it goes into the oven or the kiln to become something permanent. This is a very mutable earth card. She has the ability to shape and change, and maybe she's going through creating or has a stable foundation underneath her as is, so maybe there's less of a need, if her comfort is already in place physically at least, that new thing, it might be like, okay, now let's add the fire, right? But he's got the Three of Wands, so there is a loyalty, a willingness to wait, right, for those ships to come in. So I feel like if these two don't know each other, this one's in a really good place to meet somebody. Like, has the foundation and the fire, right? A three and an ace is not bad. And he's got a 3 and a 4. So if they haven't met, it's like he's waiting. He's waiting for the right opportunity, but right now really wants to more focus perhaps internally through meditation, perhaps just resting, right? Perhaps just watching the world go by for a bit. Yeah. What are they thinking? Now, this should be interesting for the Divine Masculine, since we have the position of air already highlighted here. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, they definitely have a trend of mirroring each other's numbers. 5 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles. So she's thinking about an emotional upset, an emotional storm. Now, whether her mind is that storm, that would say that her mind is being very heavily emotionally influenced. I mean, it is the Suit of Cups, an emotion here, but storm's clear. I mean, that can also, again, for a Divine Feminine, certainly be the empathic surge, right? It's like, oh, please, if you knew what day I was doing this on. Let's just say it's a Friday in the beginning of November. You can imagine it's like trying to hear whispers in a hurricane, but thank God I'm a pro, right? I can hear him, I can tune. It takes a lot of spiritual practice to pull this off on a day like this, but I get that feeling though. It's like it could be that there's a lot of empathic noise in the air, so there's a lot going on in the world right now, but in terms of this contract, she's predominantly thinking about, I would say, either if they don't know each other, like really thinking about past hurt, still processing it mentally, right, in the element of air, thinking about the storm over and over, though it may have already gone by. In the extended, we do a past, present, future simple timeline, so we'll definitely check that out. But for him, thinking about being left out in the cold, like, again, I think these two may know each other, and both are feeling, or at least in the mind, right, thinking about this. They both got fives. Something went on here. So I can understand the Divine Masculine needing to take a break, needing to, like, chill out and really think about this, and yet has loyalty here. This might be a couple. This might be people who are not in separation from each other, but there might have been a blow-up. And it happens in soulmate contracts. Soulmates doesn't mean you never fight. It means that it always works itself out because you help each other heal. You can't help it. That's why if you heal yourself, regardless of whether you're aware of being in a soulmate contract, you're helping your soulmates heal. It's just how it works. It's quantum entanglement. I can't explain it any better than that because I don't know. I'm not a scientist. Gotcha. This makes sense. Like their minds are occupied. Their minds are definitely occupied and in tumult, emotional and physical here. Like I could even say if there's financial issues going on for the divine masculine here, that's on his mind and would have something to do with this. Particularly, there's some challenges here. This is definitely a path of true love kind of read here. Let's see what's going on in their field of emotion. Yeah, 4 of Cups and 7 of Cups. So, she's feeling upset. She's feeling upset. She's feeling that sorrow. Here the 4 of Cups is not so subtle as it is in other decks. She's crying her eyes out at the ocean, right? At the shore, with the moon crying along with her, even amplifying her tears there. A real emotional release going on here. So she's still cleaning out residual stuff here. I absolutely think this person has either gone through something traumatic, which, hello, it's 2020, like that could just be going on in their life anyway, but I'm feeling particularly like in situations, romantic sexually here, emotionally traumatic. I'm not so sure about physically traumatic, but emotionally traumatic, not just a heartbreak, but something really heavy. And it may or may not be, but if these two know each other, then that's the tea, because he's got the 7 of Cups, you just don't know what he wants, right? I mean, the 7 of Cups in the emotional place, it's like, well, but I feel this, but I also feel this, and which is okay, which is fine. But if this is the Scorpio not really letting on about this, right? And then, well, if he's feeling rejected, I don't know, it feels like there was an argument here. And I wonder, see, this is where my visionary, the clairvoyant part really does kick in. I wonder if he pulled a daddy move on her. Remember, we're not talking about bodily gender here. We're talking about an authoritarian father type of move, and might have triggered something within her with father stuff, right? That's like the 5 of Cups on the mind. There's a lot of water going on here for her, and I would say for him as well. But with that 7 of Cups, this isn't just about options or choices. This is about feeling a lot of different ways about something. Just getting that. Right, so some of it might be, what did I do, but yet I was right, and I had to do, it's tricky shit. What's going on? Card of the Spirit, I always say the most important. Aww. Cards of balance, both of them. The Libra card, the voice of the soul, saying this is going to balance itself out, right? It's like this is 7th house partnerships, balance, right? We might very well have an Aries Aphrodite vibe going on here, or like a Zeus and Hera, so to speak, right? The divine masculine and the divine feminine, that they may very well be perfect counterparts for each other, but that doesn't mean it's easy. Right, that does not mean it is easy. As much as Aphrodite and Aries were secret lovers for a while, and they had kids together, Eros. I mean, I could go on. I won't. I love my family. But it was tumultuous. They were opposites of each other, but complementary opposites. So I do feel like this will come into balance. The soul is saying this will work itself out at his soulmate, like I said. And of course, if there are any Libra tendencies, qualities that might be highlighted within either one of them, to go for that, right? That it's a cardinal air, creative air about expression. Maybe not right now, but the healing and the balancing is coming for her too. And do remember, if you don't know this, I learned this from Carolyn Mace, as a matter of fact, in Sacred Contracts, that 7th house isn't just about partnerships and marriage. It's also about our relationships to our shadow, the shadow self, right? The light and the dark, the lead and the gold, the shadow, the light, and all of that. He's got the Temperance card, which I feel like he's going to wait. I mean, it's like the 3 of Wands in his Earth position. It's like he's hanging in there. He's going to go through his own balance and his own healing. I mean, Temperance is an alchemical process that takes time, pressure, and heat, right? That fire, pressure, like a diamond, coal into diamond, that kind of thing, right? So there is healing here. There is moderation. There is discipline. The soul is saying, hey, hang in there. This can be healed. This can be balanced. This can be alchemized. But it's going to take time, and it's going to take patience, and it's going to take understanding, and it's going to take discipline, right? And I wonder if there's a disciplinarian flavor to whatever this blow up was. If they know each other, and if they don't know each other. I mean, that does change the reading a bit. It's a little hard to read for both all the time, but I'm going to say when these two meet, if they have not met yet, because she's like, can we do something new? And he's like, I need a little bit more. That's why I feel like they're either not together or they don't know each other. There's definitely a separation. If they are a couple that's living together, then this is going to have to be worked out, because there's a lot of emotion on this side. And I have to say, the divine masculine father here does have this streak of loyalty and patience and diligence, which would say if they've known each other for a while, even if they've been together as soulmate pair, they've done this before, and it might be a bit of a repeat. So it's going to be very interesting to see what that 13th card is, but you gotta wait for the preview. It's okay, let me pop up the picture and show you the whole thing. See what else we see. Breathe. Magic. Clap. Yeah, it's okay. For the divine feminine, right? We've got the prostitute archetype. Remember, everybody has the prostitute archetype. It's not what you think. Even Carolyn May says the whole thing of selling your selling sex for money is like maybe 2 to 5% of the archetype, and entirely. It's a very small part. But the shadow attribute places material considerations and security above self-empowerment. Now, of course, we all have material considerations, and in this time of security and safety and health and all of that stuff, absolutely, but we are all being challenged with that in terms of self-empowerment. What is our own way through all of this, right? Just what's going on planet Earth, I'll leave that there. So to alchemize this into the light attribute accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit, means in some ways that you listen to your own intuition, your own guidance, your own grace, regardless of whatever is going on around you. Of course, that's an influencing factor. That's playing the game, right? Left turn, right turn, go straight ahead, right? But allowing your spirit to really guide you through this if you're the divine feminine. And then that really does shed a different light upon this Ace of Flames that she has in her fire position. Fire and fire. She wants something new. She wants something exciting. It feels like then looking at that Five of Cups in the air and the Four of Cups in the water, that she might be like, can we move on from this already? Can we please balance this out and try something different? And honestly, with the Three of Pentacles, I mean, she's got fire in the fire position, earth in the earth position. She's got the foundations of that already in play, and I feel like she knows it, but on her mind, it's like her mind keeps either projecting towards storms ahead, or her mind is that storm, just very heavily influenced by emotion here, particularly if there has been a hit to your survival energy, right? And we're not just talking purely physical survival here. Maybe there is emotional and mental survival issues going on here as well, right? It's just a rough year for everybody. And again, if there's an empathic skill in place with this divine feminine, you might be feeling other people's stuff and not realizing it. It's a stage of awakening for divine feminines. And then that would make sense as well with the Four of Cups, with this sense of not just dissatisfaction, but sorrow, right? Like the Four of Cups in the Mythic Tarot, it's just like meh, like dissatisfaction. This really does feel like an emotional purge, and there's probably a lot of emotional healing going on here anyway, right? If she can really negotiate this with the power of her spirit, right? Really go through this following her inspiration, her guidance, and grace, which is sort of indicated with that Libra card in her spirit position there, coming into balance, but the balance of the soul, right? To be respectful of what she's going through within herself, to acknowledge what's going on inside of herself, and to welcome the feelings as they come and go through her, just as the Four of Cups does indicate they're sitting at the ocean, at the seaside, at the shore, as things wax and wane, ebb and flow, coming into that balance. Jumping over to the divine masculine here, the shadow attribute of the father, dictatorial control and abuse of authority. And I do feel like some things might have been overstepped here, like this divine masculine might have played daddy in some way that might have started off like one way and ended up another, because there is a real loyalty here. Like, I don't feel like this is a horrible person in any way, but with the light attribute, talent for creating and supporting life, I do feel like he was playing a supporting role here if they know each other, right? Need not be a literal father, but may have that father archetype. And like, I don't have the father archetype in me, I have the mother archetype in me. It's a very different dynamic, though both are supportive. But also here a positive guiding light within a tribal unit, and maybe they met through a group thing, like maybe online or maybe through a school or something like that, where this person has a bit of a a position of authority, one would say, right? Abuse of authority in the shadow means that there's got to be some sort of right use of authority in the light. And with that Four of Swords, I do see somebody a bit more thoughtful and contemplative here. Contemplative. Kind of focusing more inward, being a little bit more clear and deliberate in terms of choosing the thoughts and how he wants to go about that, or at least that's what he wants. But with the Three of Wands, willing to take the time to do this, willing to wait, willing to be loyal to this connection. But Five of Pentacles, like I said, there might be an accident between these two, an argument, but maybe it was an accidental argument, something that came out of nowhere, maybe triggered by an external thing that left her at storm and him at least thinking, if not feeling, right? Her mind being at storm, can't get over it, her mind still swirling, the clouds haven't cleared, and him feeling left out in the cold, right? So thinking about this Five experience, it does feel very shared. And if that is truth, then his Seven of Cups, he is certainly then considering his options. But there might come with that a little bit of, I feel this way about it, and I feel this way about it, and I feel this way about it, right? So, like, I love you and I want to be loyal, but at the same time, I feel regret, perhaps, for, like, all those cups have different feelings in them, and he might be having a little trouble processing that, hence wanting the Four of Swords, the rest time to integrate all this. And I would say with the Temperance card in the Spirit position, that's exactly what the Soul is saying. Take the time to integrate this, to alchemize it, to heal it, to bring it into balance, and it can't be done quickly. And that's the thing. You have Temperance in his Spirit position, and the Libra card. Scotty, the North Wind, Libra, right, in her Spirit card. So the soul guidance seems to be the same. This will balance itself out like soulmates always do. That doesn't mean there's not going to have to be work done on both sides. Obviously, that seems in play. But certainly when they are ready to move forward, at least not for this month, it seems, but we will see what happens in the extended. I do feel like overall these two will come back around. And may they come back around as this healing is done between them. I really want to see what that 13th card is, but we can wait a few minutes, can't we? May the Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need in this happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract between this divine feminine with the prostitute archetype that everybody also has, and this divine masculine with the father archetype, that they may heal what they need to heal. Go through what they need to go through, transform what they need to transform, rise from any ashes that need to be risen, and reconnect under grace and in perfect ways for their well-being and for the well-being of all. So mote it be. And so it is. Thank you for watching. Again, please do like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, do the YouTube-y things, help me reach my goal, my Scorpios. Because I'm looking forward to keep doing this for a while. Who knows how long what the fates have woven for all of us in the quantum tapestry that is their creation. But until such time, I'm wishing you the very best and the very blessed of it all. Previews coming up next. Good luck with this one. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be. Hey there, my Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Thank you for hanging out for the preview, holding on for the preview, or maybe you've made the jump over to watch it a second time over in VIMEO land. Let's get down to business, just getting the next deck ready to go. But we've got that 13th card to turn over. So just real quick, right? We got the prostitute archetype active in the divine feminine. Remember, everybody's got that one, and it's not about being a hooker. It's not. There is any archetype could be a hooker. Trust me, I've seen it pretty much. The divine masculine here is the father archetype, which, as I said before, is a masculine family archetype for a divine masculine. So there's some symmetry, interesting stuff going on here. So what is the dominant story, the dominant archetype, the dominant soul power that is going on for this contract? The contract itself, and of course it's going to affect them both equally. And we've got the orphan child archetype. Holy fuck-holies. You have no idea the power that I'm holding in my hands here. So both of you have an orphan archetype experience. Now, that doesn't mean you're a literal orphan. I have the orphan archetype from childhood, but I was not literally orphaned. It's a long story. Wait until my books come out, and I'll tell them the story of my childhood. Is a whole different kettle of something. Kettle of rum. Let me read you the shadow and the light attribute here. The shadow attribute, feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation. Well, here we've got the Five of Pentacles and the Five of Cups. Seeking inappropriate surrogate families, which I could feel this one wanting to go and do just that. So look, it feels like what has gone down in this situation, in this contract, is that something happened, an argument happened. It feels like it was a replay from childhood for parental stuff, right? And it triggered for both of them this child archetype. Now, as I said in the YouTube part of this, everybody has the child archetype. This is a sub-pattern within it, an archetype within an archetype of the orphan child. So you get that, right? Feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation. It's what soul retrieval is about. It's why you go to therapy, right? To retrieve your innocence, your childhood energy frozen in the past, right? Into the here and now. The light attribute, independence based on learning to go it alone, conquering of fear of surviving. These two, if they know each other, are in separation, and it's really making them look at their childhood issues. Now, I've been doing inner child work since I was a child. I mean, at least since I was a teen. I mean, I started reading Sandra Ray and not Aaron Burr. Oh my God, Leonard Orr. The whole rebirthing thing. And inner child work and John Bradshaw and all that stuff back in the 80s, right? I came to this stuff very young. And I can tell you it's invaluable work to do, but there are many different ways in, both spiritually as well as psychotherapeutically. You can do inner child work with a counselor or a therapist as well as with a shaman, essentially, or what have you, right? Even in meditation, you can probably find tons of inner child work stuff on YouTube for free. But the orphan child, really, it is the orphan child. This is, if you look at the heroes that we have in myth, right, in comics, in movies, Disney alone, God, they're all orphans, right? And you got Krypton, right, the only son of Krypton, well, at least until Kara Zor-El came along, right? Thank goodness. Sorry, I just totally sound like... Batman, Harry Potter, Dorothy Gale, right? Orphans everywhere, right? So get that that's that journey of that orphan to find self-esteem, to learn how to do it on their own, which means they go on to do great things. I mean, come on, Harry Potter, guys. We think for this audience, you got that one, right? So you might very well be feeling very abandoned by each other, but I don't think it's true. I think that's so that you both experience what needs to be healed inside of you. This is very intense reading. Oh my God, 2 survival archetypes on the table. Let's see what else hits the table. As a matter of fact, we're going to use the Healing with the Angels Oracle by Doreen Virtue. What is the angel in charge of, assigned to this contract, if you like, that you may call upon? Nice, deep breath.